one.
John was a crazy scientist who thought that dolphins were incredibly smart and could maybe speak human languages.
One of the things about our company is that we really strive to make just really interesting, layered, textured work across disciplines that is also very approachable by a wide swath of folks.
We tend to say we make original experimental theater.
Non-dominating power looks like a hug. It looks like being comfortable enough in your own skin not to hate someone else's. Woo.
When I was pursuing a career as an independent director and actor, I was always waiting for somebody to tell me what to do or what I could do. That's why creating our own work was so important.
A quarter cup of Are You Ethiopian? I don't know. 3/5 a person. 1 tablespoon of my fair-skinned great-grandmother. One of my grandmothers was kidnapped from the coast of Africa. They tried to steal her beauty, but she looked just like me.
One thing we're really proud of is the ensemble we've built in Detroit.
One thing that unites all of our work is what we call our hosting practice.
We are going to go on a performance adventure tonight. We're going to start down here.
We offer food and drink and our signature punch bowl, and we invite our audience into work as we would guests into our home. We want to create an experience that's more familial than a typical art event by helping the greater imagination grow.
Prologue. During the last few months, our ensemble has been thinking more deeply about care. As artists who explore societal issues of the past and present in order to imagine a more just, equitable, and celebratory future, we often find ourselves engaging with mentally and emotionally disturbing material. And in this time of uprisings, the continuing violence against Black and brown bodies, the pandemic, isolation, so much failed leadership, and the climate crisis, we knew we needed to start centering care in order to keep pressing on. We decided to start small and with ourselves, hoping the effects might radiate outwards. We are, in part, intentionally rethinking the YouTube phenomenon of unboxing videos that capitalize on the emotion stirred when watching someone open a box containing a shiny new toy in order to show off a product, thereby fetishizing consumerism. Instead, we used this form to center thoughtfulness, intimacy, and the desire to move another person. We call it
Dear Viewer, we see you. At least, in our mind's eye, we do. In fact, we can't stop thinking about you. You, who are at once so distant and so near, so dear. Dear viewer, you excite us in your mystery, in our memories, in our wildest imagining, our meandering longings, our long-held meaning-making. You are there, sitting pretty, sublime always, serene sometimes, and sometimes not, sated yet unsatisfied, scattered sometimes, sometimes laser sharp, not easily summed up. You. We feel you. Or we feel some of you. Or we try. And we feel you feeling us too, trying.
I received this package yesterday, and I think it's going to be a game changer. Let's take a look inside. It comes in a white box with a silver rectangle of sorts on it with the words IPAD written. It has a twine string with a bow and geometrically patterned washi tape. Finally, it has come with this warning. Don't get too excited. Too late.
Slowly, ooh, what is this? Aww, wow, whoa, oh, aww, dear, it has a cart, got lube,
nice. Look. Let's see. Oh, it's from Maddie. Dearest Carilu, my sweet friend, I hope you are well and your loved ones are well. As I put together this package, I thought much of joy, care, comfort, love, health, time, pleasure, rest, and delight. I hope you are receiving, cultivating, finding all this and all that you need, desire in abundance. Love, love, love for you, Maddie.
Our project is Cleopatra Boy, a show that we've made and a companion workshop we're developing. But before we go into that, one of the things that I've been thinking about in this really strange and challenging and hard year we've all been going through is one of the highlights, I guess, for lack of a better word, is these like little glimpses that we've gotten into like people's personal or domestic spaces through these little rectangles. And so we thought we'd expand on that because one of the things that we think a lot about is the art of hosting. We are a host of people, so we wanted to invite you into a little bit more of our world in a more expansive way and show you our home base, which is also where Jake and I live. So I hope you have your own beverage of choice. If you were here, I would certainly offer you one. But for now, let's do a very brief and incomplete tour. Let's go. So we are in our rehearsal studio, and this is where we make all of our work, all of our workshops. It's really the creative hub of our company. But right now it's without our people, so it's a little lonely and empty. But I did want to take this moment while we're in our creative space to offer you a prompt if you want. This is something we use to ground ourselves when either we're starting a process or starting a workshop sometimes. Of just reminding ourselves it's very simple. Why art? Why theater? Why performance making? Why do we do this? I think it's especially important right now when we emerge on the other side of this time that we are able to articulate this, because we should be able to, we should come back to a field that is changed. It needs to change for a lot of reasons. And I think we need to know why we do what we do. So if you feel so inclined, you can put a response to the why in the chat. I can't look at it now, but I will look at it at the end and I'd be excited to do so. But let's keep going. So the rehearsal studio is our attic space transformed or converted. So that's on the 3rd floor. We're moving down to the 2nd floor in a dark hallway that we try to, spruce up with some blue twinkly lights. Here we are, arriving to the 2nd floor. It may not look like much, but this is where the bedrooms are. In this bedroom sometimes when we do our performance Pelican Punch event, we'll have a thrift store. Maybe you just heard my dogs barking before. They're in that room. They have intense separation anxiety, but especially now since we're home with them all the time. So when we're not with them, they are upset. I swear they're fine. But we also use these bedrooms for when we host folks, which we haven't done since the pandemic started. So hopefully we'll get back to that as well. Let's keep going. I'm going to take advantage of this nice landing here to tell you a little bit more about our show, Cleopatra Boy.
So I know she was beautiful. I just know that. I just know that's true. I know she had some beautiful, flawless skin. I know she was the queen of Egypt. I did know she was with Caesar and Antony too, and I know she did have that baby. I also think she was a queer ally. I guess that's not a knowing. That's just something I think.
I know that Cleopatra had really dark hair, and she got involved in Roman politics, which was, part of all the affair stuff.
When I think Cleopatra, I remember there was a hit song maybe in the early 2000s. Cleopatra, coming at ya, Cleopatra. Remember?
She was in a Shakespeare play.
What I know about Cleopatra, I'm pretty sure Greek people say that she's Greek. I know that she probably had cats. I'm assuming she had maybe a dozen cats. Probably no mice.
Okay, so Cleopatra was a bad bitch. Sure, her makeup game was on point with the eyeliner, with the shadow, the lip, the cheek,
the contour, wig game was on point. My mama don't think that she was Greek.
Yes to the cats. I think I agree with that too. That makes a lot of sense. The Elizabeth Taylor, that was like the first thing, plus like every other image created after 1940.
Something in me is always breaking. Out of it spills light. There is a darkness ahead, O Father. The road to Rome is paved with bones. A sister will perish. A son will starve. A world will break open and tell us to quiet, to listen to our bones. I am speaking a language, O Father, that my young tongue has always known. Hear me, hear me, hear me, hear me before I break again, before life mends this light with darkness and buries those ancient secrets. The sky whispers into my bones. I fear I will forget this power, O Father, in this race of your exile to Rome. Listen to my tongues, O Father. They shrill in the rivers roaming in my palm.
The pouring of tea, a car horn, a wind hushes through palm fronds against a textile awning. Loaves of bread stacked on a slab, balanced on a person's head. The swish swish of galabiyas in street, narrow walkways of ancient city. Now people, 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 darabish, darabish, the clacking of backgammon discs on cherry wood tables. Let there be no nostalgia in this. I risk, for the sake of knowing, seeing, when possibility reigned, the world's future unripe, unrotten, the specter of knowing just far enough away. A fast inhale of tobacco smoke, the flicked pages of a newspaper, jingle of coins and palm, the clink of glass and the tinning of aluminum. All the films are silent and the archives colonial. There may have been some mystery back then. The silent swing of meat hanging on metal hooks outside. The whisper of phonograph turning and turning. All we have is a little record and the little we know and feel. People, 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 tarabish, horse and street, aish. A woman with a stack of baskets balanced on her head. All the films are silent and the colonial archives are down. Let there be no history in this. The wind of history wisping fast, a truant pianola player, clinking of drinks, possibility tucked beneath.
Where have you been? I aged 100 years thinking what might have happened, not least of all because you're the commander of the army, Antony. The fucking commander, Antony. And you just left? Took your little boat and left? Like war's a party you've grown bored of?
Of course. I go missing, and all you can think about is who's heading the army.
Not all, Antony, not all. But what did you expect me to be thinking about? What? Picking sunflowers and playing He Loves Me Not? Of course I was thinking about the war we're in the middle of, that your children are in the middle of, that your wife is in the middle of, that your queen is in the middle of, that your adopted home is in the middle of. Where the hell were you?
Right. My country. Isn't that the problem, though? That it's not my country?
Where the hell were you?
Overseeing construction, if you must know.
What?
You heard me. Construction. I'm moving out. And, well, we should talk about this sooner or later, but I've been petitioning the Senate.
The Senate.
The Senate.
Petitioning the Senate for what?
Okay. I'm going to tell you, but you can't freak out.
Anthony, if you don't tell me very quickly what you're talking about, I'm going to read it myself in your fucking intestines. Talk.
Okay. Look, first, this wouldn't affect, us. It's just, good to have options.
Anthony.
I'm petitioning for the right to move back to Rome.
Move back to Rome?
Yeah, or like not Rome, maybe somewhere else, just to, be allowed to live as a private citizen, a civilian. Look, I know it's a shock, but you have to admit.
What do I have to admit, Anthony?
That this has been hell for me. Do you have any idea whatsoever what it's been like these past couple of years watching Octavian approach, fighting him at every turn, fighting and losing and losing and losing and losing? Look, it's just one of those things that
you've been draining the coffers dry and losing every skirmish you finally decide to enter into, not because of the hundreds of soldiers who've defected because of Octavian's bribes, not because of the hundreds actually literally starving to death in your encampments, not because of the other hundreds dying every which way from dysentery, not because you spend most nights too drunk to know who you fucked the next morning, or in fact, whether you fucked them, not because you didn't follow our plan at Actium, and rather than flank them and fight how you were supposed to, you just ran off with your stupid purple sails flapping behind you, and not because everyone else has realized that you're reduced to a depressive, stained tunic, alcoholic joke, but because I was a bitch to your Roman commanders.
Well, maybe you shouldn't have been such a bitch.
What? Speak up. Pretend you still know what it's like to be a man.
I said, maybe you should have tried not to be a bitch.
Let's settle. Ismail Bro is a unicorn of love and justice and freedom.
I forgot to mention, he's a unicorn too. He's actually the ancient Egyptian unicorn of love and justice and freedom. And he throws the best parties this side of the Nile. Didn't you say, Mariam, that I should give myself permission to speak?
Camelia's voice recites the poem as dance music plays.
I've always wanted to write a dance poem. Give me an anywhere. I'll dance with you, friend. Along a train track, middle of a grocery store, a barren desert, a haunted home, a galaxy beneath the eyelids. There is a dimension called love. We dance portal into it. You fumble, I stomp, I thimble, you cup, I flourish, you wave, we infinite, we break. My hips carry me across the river. Yours send you to the moon, across the living room. We make new letters, make new songs. We'll return when they ask us to. Summon us, even if it's just you. We figure eight into an orchid. I sail on the petal of you. I break into 5 fingers with you. Marionette limbed, we dance like water. Float above, never drown. We need no flags. Everywhere is ground. Every song is sea. We finning swim. All earth is body and sound. Give me a place to live in your wave. Give me a nowhere to belong. Together we are a field, gargantuan and blue, only two. Celestial and new, only two. An open invitation for all of you to dance with us too. You too, and you, will dance into tomorrow and disappear. Yalla. Yalla ya habibu.
Let's go. Hello.
Hello. Hi. Welcome to our house. My name is Shireen Azab. I'm one of the co-directors of A Host of People.
And I'm Jake Hooker. I'm the other co-director of A Host of People.
And our house is actually also where we make work. We call it home base. So we're going to show you around. And one of the things that I think is really special about our house, not just being our artistic home, but it's also to us a living archive of all the things that we've created in Detroit so far. So we're gonna like show you some of those things as we walk around. Anything else I should?
I think that's it.
All right, follow us inside. Amazing.
I'm gonna go push some buttons on things.
Okay. Jake's gonna move ahead of us, and I will be your tour guide.
Nice. We keep shoes on?
Yes, please. You're welcome to keep shoes on. As I'm sure all these people who can see on 360, you probably can zoom in and see a lot of dirt in the corners. This house is over 100 years old. It was built in 1907, 1908. We're gonna go all the way up to the top of the third floor, which is our rehearsal studio. As we walk through this stairwell, you'll see some posters of past shows. This was our most recent work, Cleopatra Boy, that we're hoping to tour now that we're gonna come back to life. Re-release party, one of our faves, neither there nor here. It's not all of our work. We only started like making posters, I don't know, the last 3 or 4 shows. The first 2 were not so lucky. Probably, budget. As we grew our budget to be able to have more marketing, I guess. So we're about to enter our rehearsal studio, which we converted from our attic for a place that we have a home to make work. So here's right now seeing a lot of members who are in our next show called Fire in the Theater. So we're just like so excited. So our next show that we're working on is called Fire in the Theater, and it's about free speech in the First Amendment in the digital age. So right now what you're
step cross,
yeah,
a step cross, right.
Yes, that's exactly it.
We humbly ask and are speaking here tonight for a sense of togetherness that does not obfuscate the past nor negate the traumas, collective and individual, with which we enter this space.
We come here in order to think about, to name, or try to name, what is and what is not.
We come here skeptical about what is and is not possible in dialogue that happens on the internet.
We come here not knowing how much or how little we know about the internet, about the dialogues therein, how little or how much dialogue happens therein. We understand, though, that there, in the internet, be dragons.
And dragon drops.
Rabbit holes and rabbit turds.
And other absurd gitties.
Beware of blessings, someone said.
But not of laughter. We come here in the interest of laughing at ourselves together.